Hello, everybody. My name is Seth Stock, and I'll be your host for today's event. Before we begin, a little bit about me. I'm a business associate representative at North America for Koteve, and I'm a student of political science at Utah State University. Let's see, today we'll be talking about communication mindset with our fantastic host, Kristof, who knows all about communication and professional skills development. Kristof, would you like to add anything?
Well, I don't know if it's all about, but thank you very much for this great introduction. Definitely communication is my passion, and I spend a lot of time researching it and applying into my coaching and training practice. Now, not maybe everybody knows that it's a connection between USA and Ireland. Seth, what time is now in USA?
It is 7:31 in the morning, now 7:32.
Nice and bright. Here we have half two. So it's nice that we can collaborate now in this amazing international exchange and make sure that we can help people all over the world, no matter where they are.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. The international experience is fantastic. Just to move along, before we begin the structure of our meeting, so Kristof will do a quick overview of communication and communication mindset and how that's important, especially in business. And that'll take about 20 minutes. And then after that, we'll have around a 10-minute Q&A. So please don't forget to drop all of your questions in the chat at any point, and we'll try to get to them during the Q&A. If we can't, I've posted our two LinkedIn links, and please give our accounts a check them out for us. And we have a special gift for all of our viewers, the Values Action Book, which we'll show you how to get it later. Kristof, the time is yours.
Brilliant. I want to make sure I'll do it a little bit faster than 20 minutes, although the topic is for, I think, weeks of discussions. If we talk about communication, I want to focus on key aspects and how you can apply this in interview settings and business settings, wherever appropriate and possible. Would that be, I hope, okay with everybody, so we can learn something from it and, of course, apply into our everyday life. So let's start from the mindset. And mindset consists of our mental modes, values, and goals. And they're very crucial elements. If we talk about mental modes, is everything that we understand, perceive the world, our beliefs and understanding and knowledge. And this is all behind at the back of our mind when we make decisions. We don't normally think about that. And also values are a driver or indicator what we will decide and which way we go. And goals are a little bit more specific. And most of us understand setting up goals and how much this helps in advance in our life. But I want to focus on this part that relates to values. Because what our employers seek in people who want to communicate better, have a communication mindset, and also are focused on understanding their own values. So normally we don't think about our values. We know them by intuition. We don't write them down. And what happens is in the interview settings, it's so important to know values because you need to know if you correspond to the employer values. So they need to know if you believe in the same thing. If you come to work and you don't believe in what they do, there is I would say, a conflict of interest, and they would not perceive you as a great candidate. In other words, if you want to work for a company that believes the same as you, so you can synchronize together. So first thing, you need to elicit your values. You need to know that where your communication come from. What is the fundament of your existence, whether it's your professional and personal life. And then you can say on the interview, I want to work for you because I believe in what you do. I believe in equality. I believe in learning. I believe in curiosity. I believe communication. is very important in personal professional life. And then they see, wow, not only you know about them, you know yourself. And that is another aspect of working for corporations and employers that they seek in employees is awareness. So they're aware of their own values, but also they're aware of themselves so they can communicate better. Because let's say you have your mental modes, beliefs, understanding, and knowledge, and someone else has their own. So what happens then if they're different than yours? And ideas, Seth?
I'm not really sure as far as ideas and those values being separated. Again, it creates a conflict of interest.
Exactly. You tackled that thing perfectly.
And it would drive a wedge between you and your bosses and you and the company and you and everybody else whose values are aligned with the company's values. And that probably wouldn't create the best work environment.
Brilliant. And that's why communication is one of the future skills, because it shows to employer, can you resolve conflicts, okay, when they arise? So let me give you an example how you can resolve conflict. The key thing is, and this is from my study of the realistic conflict theory, when they did an experiment and they found out that if you have or you show a common goal of two people, you have interest or certain level, but if you show a common goal is here and you put awareness and focus and attention to common goal, the emotions are dropping down and you focus what connects you, not what makes you apart. And that is the first step that you're aware, and you can bring an example even in the STAR method, which is a situation that you can describe in which the conflict arose. The task was to resolve that conflict. The action you took, you brought to attention that we have a common goal, and can we work on that common goal and find a way, and through discussion on different methods and tools you could use at that moment. And then you can show the results that by showing this common goal and putting attention and focus to this, you resolve this conflict. So conflict resolution is very, very important. Another one that comes from this is also, if you are in the discussion, you want to show to the employer that you are able to lead the conversation. So not only this comes from your leadership values, but also it's something very important. It shows that even in a heated debate, you're able to direct it and finish it. And does anything comes to your mind, what tool helps you to control the conversation?
Your questions.
Exactly. Perfect. Questions, the right questions can help you to put attention and focus to the way you want. So when you ask a question, the person is focused on answering. So how you lead slowly with the questions to the common goal, for example. And that's how you show your lead. As we know, Tony Robbins said, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your questions. And I'm happy we had a discussion before when they asked Einstein, if you have 1 hour to live and to resolve a problem, what would you do? He said 50 or 55 minutes focus on a question and 5 on finding solution. So how important is to write the right question? So going back to our communication mindset, it's our mental modes, which is knowledge, understanding, our values, goals. We need to be aware of them. We need to be able to express them. We need to be able to show how we resolve conflict, and we can bring that to the common goal. And also we can show how we can lead the conversation, and we can show that in those situations by asking the right question. And that leads us to listening. So in order to do that properly, we need to listen attentively. And that is very important, that we are doing this genuinely. If we know that we won't be able to focus on listen, the experts say sometimes it's better to step away. So it's very important that we are focused and we ask the right questions, situation, so the person knows that we care. And that's what you want to show with it, whether it's interview settings, whether it's a business settings. And that is a key vital, I would say, tips to know about the communication mindset. Why is it a future skill, and why you need to show that to the potential employer or even existing employer? Because communication is not only exchange of information, it's a transfer of emotions. And if you are a skilled communicator, you'll be able to create a great example, say a story, even on interview context with the STAR method, and then they can see what you see. And that's how you bring them and connect with them together. So how we can practice this? Let's say we didn't have much to do with. There are many approaches. One is to be aware about your own values, beliefs, your goals. Very important. That already increase your confidence. And on our series, we talk about confidence again on the next occasion. But that's a first step. Second thing is to make sure that you not only meditate, but you practice that. So every time you notice that there is a heated debate and conversation, and let's say you start asking questions and see the reactions, or there is something you are arguing about, and then you bring it to common goal, see, practice, let your body feel that, create the new neural connection about this. This is so important. I would here on this occasion advise to and invest in the subject a little. And the book I would recommend is Crucial Conversations. It's tools for taking when stakes are very high. And this book has 5 different authors. You can easily find it online. I think Granny and Patterson are the most famous there. And if you notice, the book not only focusing on your conversation within the business context, but also within yourself. What story you sell yourself? And are you sell your story of a victim, of oppressor? And that is so important and vital, because that will determine how you will act, what decision you'll make, and how you will present yourself, whether it's interview or business setting.
Oh, yeah, I do agree. I do agree with you there. The mindset about how we communicate affects literally everything. I think it's the basis of how we perceive reality. Yeah. Fantastic.
That's all for me, actually, in general overview. If you have any question.
Wonderful. All right, I do have a couple of questions for you. With the power of, I guess, aha moments or epiphanies, an effective internal and external communication, how does that work? Could you give us a little insight there?
Yes, this is a very great, I would say, a mechanism in us. Those aha moments were moments of enlightenment, moments when we realize that the same reality is actually different than we thought. And that's get us thinking. That's make us a little bit more humble, because not necessarily what we're sure of is the way it is or the way it appear. And the key thing is to have as more aha moments in your life as possible. And how to generate those aha moments is a conscious also decision. You invest in your communication, which we talk about practice. I listen audiobooks every week, at least one. Well, I have to say there are exceptions. If I really like audiobook, I listen it to 5 or 10 times. So that can take me 2 or 3 weeks. And then I move to another one. The key thing is sometimes those visions or this knowledge and expertise shared by others, just one small cherries or 2 or 3 you take from it, and you say, wow, I can do that. I can be better in my life. Yes, that is a great thing I can apply to my life. And what happened is you put yourself not only on the level of constant learner about technical knowledge, but also you learn as a human being to be better. And that's also animate to your professional life. So being consistent with learning and open up yourself, being open-minded to a new, I would say, tools or information, or I would say even expertise and things that people lived through, you know, this is their experience. And you can relate to, and you say, wow, yeah, that resonates with me, and let me try it. And they say, wow, so that's how it works. Oh, so this is what they had on mind. And then you see, wow, this is something I want more. And then your life is much better on deeper level, I would say, professionally and personally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you there. Let's see. I do have another question for you. So could you tell us a little bit more about the value mindset and the exchange mindset? So the kind of I help you, you help me, and how that relates to selfishness and altruism in terms of communication.
Okay, so if we talk about exchange mindset, it's the most common mindset. And I would refer to everyone to an amazing guy called Robert Cialdini, and he wrote a good few books on influencing and persuasion. And he explains there that one of the most powerful tools is reciprocity. And reciprocity is based on this kind of exchange. I help you now, you help me later. And that's normally how we function, as long as it's balanced, of course. And when you mentioned if it's balanced, it works for everybody. It doesn't mean it has to be the same thing, but more or less the same. And we felt everything in balance. But as long as we feel that one person gives more and the other less, whether it's a business setting, a boss, employee, or colleague with the other colleague, we feel that this is unfair the person is doing, or it's using us. And this is going to the way that people become more the people that take advantage of that, and they become more selfish in this. And then we have a power to have a nice, amazing, honest conversation, and to clear that out, to stop the other person, and sometimes to make sure you break this relationship. Depends on the circumstance, what type of relationship it is. And when we talk about other way, as you said, altruism, you give. It's amazing feeling to give. It is amazing. But as a human being, we are striving to get something back, even on our subconscious level. And what I would say is amazing from people who give more than get is for them a one feedback, positive feedback. Wow, you changed my life, or you helped me with this. I know from my own practice, and I landed on that new job, or you helped me to understand that better. Thank you very much. That gives you energy for a next 100 or 200 gifts. And it's good to remember about this. The best is the balance, to make sure we keep everything in balance, because that's why we strive to have a life balance, work balance, relationships, internal balance. And if something goes out of the hand, we try to be aware and act if you see something selfish, or if you give and you see there's a point that you don't give back, or the other way, someone is using, have an honest conversation.
Absolutely. I can't disagree with you again. And so I do have kind of one more question and some comments from me. Finally, I would like to talk a little bit about my experiences with effective questions, and more of an other-centric mindset in terms of communicating and speaking. At least I'll use some of my work examples. It has made me so much closer with my coworkers, right? Working as a general contractor, a lot of the time you really do need effective communication, and not just on that professional level. Many times you'll be sitting in the car with them for an hour and a half. And so you either sit there in silence or you talk. And so building those bonds with effective questions and really thinking, you know, what kind of question would they like to hear? What do they want to talk about? What do they like? Focusing on them has really created some great bonds between me and my coworkers, which is just exemplified in the workplace when we work together. For example, we were able to get an entire living room finished in one day because of our communication. So that's been fantastic. And another example is my relationship with my boss. Because of my relationship with my boss that I've fostered through the use of effective communication, I'm able to go on I'm being taken on a cruise in November to the Caribbean, which is a very direct way of it paying off. But again, that communication mindset is critical. And I really can't disagree with anything you said.
I want to add here something, because not maybe everybody knows, we have a lot of discussion together about communication. And remember when we said, you just mentioned that you try to find out what's important for them. And then what happened is they start to be more and more interested in you. Wow, this guy really cares. They want to know about me. And that's why, as you said, the bond becomes closer and tighter.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. And the bonds that we make with people, it both on a personal and professional level, it can just completely change the way that you go about your life, which I love. I love that.
Brilliant. Relationships define our life. So as better we make them within ourselves or with others, as better we can function and enjoy professional and personal life.
Oh yeah. All right. So we are a bit running out of time here, I do think. Do we have any questions for the Q&A?
No, we had I think we had enough questions for today because we have to finish in 7 minutes. So if you'd be so kind to tell us about how what people can what we prepared for them as a surprise.
So as our surprise for all of our viewers, we do have the Values Action Book, which is something that Kristof uses for his trainings. And it's a great way, it's a great little workbook to read through and really work on. It helps you, again, focus on, I guess, not necessarily focus, but hone in your values, write them down, and really frame them. And that's critical, again, as we spoke about with communication. You need to know your values so that you know how they fit into place with the values of other people.
Absolutely. And to complement that, what you say is we also, in our communication discussion, we saw how many subjects are so vital. So we will have more events like this here. You can see the dates and the subjects. And so if you want to participate, you can find on Koteve page, LinkedIn page. Also, you can reach out directly to us. And whoever wants the great gift can connect with us on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to share. And you can easily elicit, as Seth said, elicit your values. So you'll be ready for the interview saying, okay, I believe in this, or you believe in this. We connect together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I personally love this action book. So I'll be excited to send it to anybody who asks for it. But let's see. So join us next week for another future skills meeting on interviews. So we'll see you guys then. Pop your head in for next week, and hopefully we'll see you then.
See you then.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.